Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel once again. My name is Ike. As always, really appreciate you all being here. And today I'm going to be checking out one from the iconic Bob Dylan. The song I'm going to be reacting to today is called Shelter from the Storm. And this one is off of his 1975 Blood on the Tracks album. I know Bob Dylan is obviously an artist that is absolutely legendary, but I am not familiar with the overwhelming majority of his catalog. So I think it's about time to start my Bob Dylan side quest here. Before we kick this reaction off, if you guys are enjoying the content, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. It really helps out the channel and it's highly appreciated. And without further ado, let's get right into this one. This is Bob Dylan with Shelter from the Storm.
'Twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue, the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I give my word. In a world of steel-eyed death and men who are fighting to be warm, come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
Wow.
Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
As usual, I'm just going to run through some of the parts of the song here and break down some of the things that I thought were cool. Firstly, really love the acoustic playing here. His guitar sounds awesome, the strumming pattern is interesting, and I really like the underlining bass melody that they're using for support. Boom, boom, boom. There's no drums in this track, a somewhat more of a stripped down song with that signature folk style sound to it. And then of course Bob Dylan has that extremely unique signature voice.
'Twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood,
and just absolutely iconic lyricism.
I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form.
I'm pretty sure that he's either considered or in the debate for greatest songwriter of all time. But yeah, I mean, obviously just a legendary songwriter, nothing really else to be said there. This is awesome.
I was burned out from exhaustion, buried in the hail, poisoned in the bushes and blown out on the trail, hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Love the guitar.
Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there, with silver bracelets on her wrists and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Fantastic lyrics.
Now there's a wall between us, something that's been lost. I took too much for granted, I got my signals crossed. Just to think till it all began on a non-eventful morn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Love this. The bass sounds great too.
Well, the deputy walks on hard nails and the preacher rides a mount. But nothing really matters much, it's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a feudal horn. Come in, she said, I'll give ya
Shelter from the storm. dropping lyrical gems throughout this entire song here.
In a world of steel-eyed death and men who are fighting to be warm, I was burned out from exhaustion, buried in the hail. I took too much for granted, I got my signals crossed. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a feudal horn. I've heard newborn babies wailing like a moaning dove.
And I love the feel of this song. But I've mentioned this in some of my other reactions, how just like certain progressions and compositions really just trigger a sense of nostalgia with me. And this song is really just giving me an extremely comforting and nostalgic feeling. And I think a lot of that comes from the lyrics, shelter from the storm. Come in, you know I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
Shelter from the storm.
You know, it just gives me a really warm, comforting, secure type of feeling, you know?
Come in, she said, I'll give ya
Shelter from the storm.
I've heard newborn babies wailing like a moaning dove, and old men with broken teeth stranded without love. Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm. In a little hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I bargained for salvation and she gave me a lethal dose. I offered up my innocence, I got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, I'm living in a foreign country, but I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and her were born. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
Blowing that horn. Oh, that was fantastic. Bob Dylan, man, what an absolute legend. All right, that was the legendary Bob Dylan with Shelter from the Storm. That was an awesome song. I really liked that one. It filled me with just an immense sense of nostalgia and comfort. Really enjoyed the composition, the folk style of it. The acoustic guitar sounded fantastic. Really dug his strumming pattern. I liked the cool bass lines that were being laid down underneath the guitar. His vocals were on point. You know, I've heard that people say Bob Dylan can't sing, you know? I disagree. And his lyrics are just, I mean, there's no debate. His lyrics are just astounding, man. Like the stories that he was telling here with his lyrics, the pictures that he was painting were just gorgeous. Overall, just a fantastic tune from Bob Dylan. You know, as I mentioned earlier, I haven't gotten too deep into Bob Dylan's catalog, but I know he has just a massively extensive catalog, so this is gonna be a fun journey. But yeah, as always, I really appreciate everybody's suggestions and insights. If you guys want to check out any more of my reactions, feel free to go take a look at my channel. I've got some playlists up there. And I want to thank you for checking out my very first Bob Dylan reaction here on the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Till that time, peace.